Hi guys, it's me Sam here today with another video, and we are going to be playing with the Colourpop Glow Getter palette and little collection. I've had this for a while and I don't usually do too many reviews on Colourpop products because there's a lot of creators who get PR, and by the time I purchase it myself and receive it, it's old news and it's just something that I purchased for myself. But I really was looking specifically for inspiration with this palette, and I didn't see really any creators that are of my complexion using this palette. So I just went ahead and created this look, and I figured we could talk about it. I will show you how I created it and what I think of the products that came in this collection. It is still available on the Colourpop website if you are interested in it. So yeah, let's get started. So the palette is called the Glow Getter, and this is what it looks like. It's part of a 3 palette and highlighter, gloss, whatever collection with Colourpop that they came out with probably in January. Initially there were 1 palettes, and then there was 2 palettes at Ulta, and then they introduced a 3rd one on the Colourpop website. I did pick up all 3 of the palettes, but today we're just going to be talking specifically about the Glow Getter. When you open it up, this is what she looks like. It's a pretty neutral palette with like kind of a pop of mint in there. It still intrigued me because spring is coming and I was looking for some kind of spring inspiration. Colourpop does this color scheme kind of a lot, so I probably already have this in my collection, but I do like these bigger 9 pan palettes with the cardboard packaging. It's just way more convenient, and I just really love this kind of component that they put together here. The collection also included one of these Soul Body highlighters, and I hate the packaging on this. Well, I have a love-hate. I like the packaging because it's like hard and plastic, and it does have a mirror and it does have a mirror inside, but it is a nightmare. You will break every fingernail trying to open this every single time. I really wish they would just do this in a cardboard packaging as well. I believe the collection for this one also included glosses, but I did not buy them. And then they created these, they came out with these Super Shock eyeshadows to go with it in the shades Ember and Up Late. So you'll see that in just a second that I did swatch both of these Super Shock eyeshadows, and they are very pigmented, really metallic finish, and exactly what you would expect from them. I'm wearing them currently. I'm wearing the shade Up Late in my inner corner on top of the yellow shade from the palette, and then I am using Ember kind of underneath my lash line. That was kind of like a last minute decision to put that on there. You'll see when I'm creating the look that the first shade that I go into is the shade Signal. It's a pink shade, and it does look pretty light in the pan. It does show up on my skin, although it does look slightly dusty. In person it does look a little bit warmer than it does on camera, but it is still very light. There's also that other shade Dimmer in there, which is very light, that I did not use. Then I went into Flare, which is pretty much like a neutral brown shade, into the crease. It's pretty much for me like a typical crease shade, very very expected of Colourpop. Then we went into Sundown, which is like a darker chocolate brown with gold specks. Now these particular shadows always turn out to be as a matte unless you're using a glitter glue. Otherwise I use these shades specifically just as mattes. This one did have some fallout, which was a little bit annoying, but overall it blended well and helped deepen the shade the way that I wanted it to. I went in then with the yellow shade called Flame Fatale. That was a really beautiful golden shade. It's a perfect shade yellow to me because it really is that beautiful bright shiny yellow, but it's not like a gold. It was nice to see a yellow in here that was very much a traditional yellow, and it showed up quite nicely on the lid. Then we went into Glowworm, which is like a minty, I would call this a duochrome. It does kind of shift to a little bit of a silvery shade. It blends beautifully with the yellow shade and created a really good gradation on the lid. And then I went in with Flicker just to kind of blend the Sundown shade with Glowworm, and I think that went pretty flawlessly. Overall, I really enjoyed using the palette. The color scheme was easy to put together. I do wish that they had a different shade here, like they either chose Signal or Dimmer and not both, because I feel like they're pretty much the same shade, and I don't know that you need two really light shades like that. Otherwise, the palette is quite nice. As far as the Soul Body shimmering body powder, this is in the shade Starlight. It looks really beautiful when I swatched it, and when I applied it with a blush, you could see that there was a lot of glitter kind of loose on the face and kind of making a mess everywhere. The instructions on these do read that if you wanted to have an extra highlight, that you would use it with a dampened sponge, and so I did eventually go in with that just so I could kind of tame down the flakiness of the glitter. But to be honest, it's just too glittery. Like, I'm kind of sad that I purchased all three of them, because honestly I prefer the normal Super Shock highlighter formula, where it's just a beautiful sheen that's glowy without all the glitter. But if you are into it, it is pretty. It's just not my preference. In case you were curious what I'm wearing on my lips, it really doesn't show on my complexion, but I am wearing the lip oil from the Wannabe collection of the All Abuzz collection in the shade Comb By. It's very cute pink with like a gold shimmer. On my particular skin tone, you really can't tell the color of it, but you can see the little bit of gold sparkles, which is pretty. I do like these lip oils. They're very nourishing. I also picked up at the time, and I just want to mention, this was part of the Bubbly collection, but it's the lip lacquer, the Fresh Kiss lip lacquer. This is awful formula. I did not like this. I do like the lip stain that they have in the cream lip, but this lip lacquer, I would advise that you steer away from it. It was just goopy, uncomfortable, and kind of patchy on the lips. So if you were thinking about this, I would steer you away from it. Overall, I really like the palette. I think the packaging is good. I really like the larger 9 pans in here. You know, it's not the most exciting Colourpop palette, but that's pretty much what we're used to by now from Colourpop. Like, I don't think it's worth complaining about it anymore. I'm really happy about the Super Shocks. These are going to be super nice to like add to my collection. I love their Super Shock formula, and these colors really were beautiful. I love that Amber, the blue one, was just really metallic, and then the Up Late one, which is this kind of champagne, it has like blue specks in it. It's really pretty and transparent. Like, this could possibly be used as a highlighter. I would use this as a highlighter in place of the one that came with the collection. But overall, it's really cute. I like it, and I hope that I provided some inspiration for you to create a look if you are of my complexion. Thank you so much for watching my channel. If you made it this far in the video, I just want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate your time, and until next time, thank you. Bye.